Now, I've made a lot of mistakes across many different F1 games at many different tracks in many different cars. Some of them are admittedly more embarrassing than others. I mean, when I think of embarrassing mistakes, I immediately think of my Silverstone pit lane crash with someone who I can't remember the name of, or my infamous bottle at Singapore when I was about 10 seconds ahead of every single other person within 7 laps. That was also a bad one. That still stings a bit. But the one coming up in this video, it's bad. It's bad. So we had a decent qualifying at the Netherlands. We currently sit P2 on the grid. It's 5 lights and lights out and away we go. It's been an average, as usual, start off the line, but with a difficult track to overtake into turn 1, we're going to hold on to the inside line, block off P3, get a bullshit warning for a collision, which is a bit unreasonable, but nevertheless we've held on to P2. Let's chase down P1, I guess. I don't know what happened there. I kind of lost all motivation to be excited in any capacity. It's probably because I know what's coming in this race. So at the end of lap number 1, it's not gone great. We are a second off P1 already. We're already out of DRS. He's very clearly got a pace on me. I've got absolutely no straight line speeds. I'm kind of just praying that I can stay onto the back of him. I mean, I'm doing okay. Just okay isn't very well. I don't really like this track. Can you tell? During the opening laps we were actually under pressure from P3 more than we were challenging for P1, but through turn number 9 P3 has an incident and we managed to get ahead of him. Now we can focus on trying to push as hard as we can and try and catch Grande. Although given the pace he clearly has on us, I'm not too optimistic. I'll be honest, the opening stint of this race was absolutely awful for content because we find ourselves on lap number 7. We are 3.5 seconds off P1. However, coming through turn number 9, he's having a little explore of the gravel trap. He's made a massive mistake, which I can relate to, and we go into P1. It was evident I was the slower car of the two, but I was very much in the fight for P1 this race if he's going to make those kind of mistakes. I had to think fast in this moment about what I was going to do, and honestly, if I stayed out, he was in DRS range and he would easily just breeze past me down towards turn number 1. So I'm going to pit and hopefully get the undercut on him and get a little bit of time ahead of him. As I'm sure everyone knows by now, new tyres are just OP as fuck in this game. So we're going to try and use that to our advantage, make an early pit stop and hopefully undercut him. A lap later it's the moment of truth on if this strategy is going to pay off for us. Our only hope really is to defend against him as best we can. Coming through turn number 1 and you can see he is in the pit. We are going to get out ahead of him into a net P1. We are just ahead of him. It's going to be challenging to win this race, but I feel confident in my defensive ability. My consistency to not make a mistake, that's another thing all in itself. On lap number 10, Grande is right behind us. He is in DRS, but he's just too far back to make a move into turn 1. We currently find ourselves in P2, but it is a net P1. 6 seconds down on P1. But more importantly, we are under pressure from Grande out of turn number 3. And with his straight line speed, it's going to be difficult to challenge him, even down this weird curvy straight. He's going to look to the outside for turn number something. Either way, we defend against him. I genuinely have no idea what corner number that was because the weird straight thing isn't actually a straight, it's a load of fucking corners. Turn 7. Moment's gone anyway. Back to the action as we go to turn number 8 and turn number 9. The only 2 corners in this race I was actually quicker than Grande, and it's obviously where he made a mistake. So he goes for an optimistic dive into turn number 10, which ruins his run onto the second DRS straight and helps me massively. I'm able to get a better run than him and we're going to defend once more. However, in this moment I wasn't oblivious to the fact that I was absolutely fucked down the main straight. So here we go. I'll be honest, I don't think there's any point in me even commentating over this because, well, that was thrilling. So the plan to defend against him has gone to shit immediately. My only hope now was to stay on the back of him, hopefully stay within DRS and put pressure on him through these exact corners, and you can see almost immediately it works as he runs wide, loses a bit of time on us, and we're going to get DRS down the back straight. Coming to the end of lap number 11, we are still just in DRS range of Grande. Thank God, because we would just be fucked if we weren't. It does look like on the medium tyres I am a lot closer to his pace. He's still quicker than me, but I at least feel like I'm in with a chance on these medium tyres. And knowing that he'd made one massive mistake and one minor mistake through these two corners earlier on in the race was filling me with a lot of confidence, as you can see just how much I catch up to him through these two corners alone. He has a little bit of a wiggle on the exit of turn number 9. And honestly, if it wasn't for my complete lack of straight line speed, this could quite possibly be quite an easy win. Coming through the final two corners now, this is the closest we've been to Grande to actually make a move. I know it doesn't look very close, but I promise you it's the closest we've been. We're not going to make a move into turn 1 because we're still fucking miles behind when we can't really catch him. But that is the closest we've been. It's going alright. We keep up the pressure lap after lap, and on the exit of turn number 10 he has a big moment, a big wiggle on the exit, losing a lot of traction, and now it's the closest we've been to making a move through turn number 11. Unfortunately, there's not anywhere for us to go, but it does mean now coming through turn number 14, this is the closest we've been, and for some reason he's weaving, and we go straight by him around the outside. He tries to defend up the inside. We're going to carry it around the outside, and actually it's a very nice move. I just don't understand why he weaved. I can only assume he was mocking me because he knew he had the pace on me. My theory on him just being a dickhead was confirmed on the next lap at the end of turn number 40. No, lap 40. Oh, it is turn 40. I'm going to restart. Just had a fucking... Just complete fucking breakdown there. I don't know what happened. My theory of him being a dickhead was confirmed at the end of lap number 14, coming out of turn 14. He's going to challenge us into turn 1. We don't really go fully defensive because I knew it would be an easy move for him. He goes back into first place. Wonderful. So at this stage I knew he was just being cocky, and I was hoping that his cockiness would be the death of him. If he let me through at the wrong time, I could just defend overly aggressive like most people do on ranked. And you can see he's weaving again down the main straight. Are we going to have a move into turn 1? He's a bit too far ahead for that, so even though he's weaving, he's still pissing me off because he's too far ahead for it to matter. Dickhead. But all I needed was one overly cocky moment or one major mistake like he did last time, and I'd be straight back into first place, and this time I'd be the cocky one and probably taking him out. He'd pissed me off by this point. Coming to the end of lap number 16, on to the penultimate lap of the race. It's now time to really put the pressure on him, try and make him make a mistake, try and make him just be overly cocky, try and get into a position to just dive up his inside and, well, ideally just force him off track. We're right on the back of him through turn number 1. That's been a story for the entire race. We've just been looking at his rear wing for the entire time pretty much. But all we need now is one error, one tiny lapse in concentration, one little bit of traction loss. No, not from me.
Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
Now, I'm going to be brutally honest. It was an appalling mistake from me. I could have definitely won that race. It was unlikely, but I feel like I was in with a chance. And the mistake was just extremely embarrassing. It was absolutely horrific. And it was such an embarrassing moment that immediately after finishing that race, I recorded myself to apologise for just being an absolute embarrassment. The issue being, because I spontaneously just started recording, I didn't check anything, and I ended up recording both my webcam mic and this mic. So obviously the audio isn't great. Hi, I am... See? It's fucking terrible. But because I feel like the apology needs to be in this video for that kind of mistake, I'm going to watch over the apology and I'm going to paraphrase what I said in the moment. Hi, I am recording this immediately after spinning it in Netherlands, purely to apologise for that spin. I don't know what to say. I'm just extremely mad right now. So mad right now, sorry. With myself. I am genuinely so fucking annoyed at myself right now. It's unbelievable. A little bit of a laugh. So I'm so mad. I'm just going to lie here and question my life choices as I watch Grande go onto the podium. Oh, hit subscribe. Oh, I don't deserve it. Ah, fuck. Nailed it.